Hello. Thank you for your patience. Happy Sunday if you weren't in my shot of love. Welcome, Warrior family. Good to see y'all in the chat. Ready to get started? Yes. Free your mind, baby. That's a message right there. Everybody here has a free mind. I know. Hashtag smart people only, baby. I see y'all. Let's get this thing started on the official measure.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Love in this light. Here's God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Yes, peace, world, peace. Welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks. I am Goddess Dawn, my fucking warrior, okay? Up in these YouTube streets, this R. Kelly sector. Anybody who say, I wasn't here, okay? But no, I'm here because the trial is supposed to start tomorrow. Well, technically, jury selection, but that's the trial. I want to say hi to you guys before we get into it. Wow, Wayne, what's going on? Twice today. Chrissy, yes, what's going on, JC? Happy Sunday to you guys. Kings and queens. Queen Keish, yes, welcome back. Daddy's girl, I see you. Yes, Aisha, welcome back. Love is fair. What's going on? Here to talk about your boy, Hazel E. Yes, Joel Jackson. Great to see you. Sharita Michelle, what's going on? Chi-Town OG. Yes. All right, y'all. Yeah, Wayne, that's right. We talked about being your own superhero in today's Shot of Love. Go catch that 20-minute frequency boost right there. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys. And yeah, I'm just here because, just kind of like a ribbon cutting, I guess you could say, into this trial coverage. I did come across something I'm going to share and we're going to talk through with regard to R. Kelly. It's an article from the Tribune. They are unveiling some things that I think weren't really known from 2008. And they're, just giving us some insight. And it's kind of like, I guess, a recap of everything in a nutshell. But before that, I want to share this news story that I don't know, it was on my timeline today. And I couldn't believe my ears. Let's listen to, so basically, there's a CPS employee, as it says at the top of this. There's a 14-year-old who was reporting to this employee, and this employee was encouraging her to become a prostitute, and she was caught on camera. Yeah, that happened. So let's listen to this, and I'll be back. Actually, let me get my Bluetooth turned off. My bad. Okay.
With a story that you'll only see here on Fox, an employee with child services is caught on camera telling a 14-year-old girl in foster care to become a prostitute.
That's right. And this girl of kids in CPS custody living in hotels all over the state. Fox 26's Randy Wallace live from Houston here with this exclusive.
Yeah, Jonathan. Now, earlier this year, a federal judge scored Child Protective Services for making available for prostitution in the CPS system. Now we have a case where an employee with that state agency is encouraging prostitution of a 14-year-old child.
Wouldn't they remove a child from a parent that told their child to be a prostitute?
They should. And they would. Keisha Basley has 9 kids. She turned to Child Protective Services to help her with her 14-year-old daughter, who she says was running away and causing trouble at school.
My daughter told me that the worker had been telling her that she should do these things. So she said she decided to video her.
CPS is housing the girl at a hotel. She's one of dozens in Harris County. In the video, she tells the CPS employee she wants food. The CPS worker tells her to be a prostitute.
I mean, she was basically encouraging a 14-year-old girl to become a prostitute.
and giving her an incentive to do so, and almost a threat of not having her needs being met if she didn't do what this woman very explicitly told her to do.
If the parent, was to do something like this to my child, I would be bashed. I would be called a horrible parent. I would lose my kids.
Basley filed a formal complaint with CPS.
Not happen to girls in their care. This should not happen. This is unacceptable.
Jamie Masters, the commissioner of CPS, came to Houston to personally apologize to Basley and her daughter.
I've never seen that happen before, where a commissioner of CPS comes in from Austin just to apologize about something that's horrible that's been done to a child and a parent involved with CPS.
I do not believe that that was genuine. I really don't.
It's bad enough if it's one rogue caseworker. It concerns me that it may be bigger than that, and they need to investigate this and make sure that it's not just one person. And they've got to figure out a way to protect these kids.
CPS sent us the following prepared statement. DFPS is aware of the video and has taken action. The person in the video, who was employed as CPS support staff, was dismissed from her position August 10th. The safety and appropriateness with which children in care must be treated is our paramount concern. Nothing less will be tolerated. Reporting live from the Southwest Side, Ray Wallace, Fox 20.
Can you believe that? It's definitely not the first time. Now, first of all, CPS, Child Protective Services. Where's the protection? These are people, these predators have infiltrated this agency, and probably who knows how many others. I mean, just like races are all in throughout police organizations and government, just like, you know, I'm just saying, these people, why are you telling her? She said, if you're going to be a hoe, be a real hoe. That's what she told her. If you're going to be a hoe, be a real hoe. So I think, so the mother has 9 kids. I think Miss Della noted that here. Yeah. And she was having problems with this particular child. And she went to CPS for help with monitoring her. And I think they said that she and among some other teens were staying at a motel. So apparently she was checking in with this woman or whoever this was. And this person was encouraging her, or really demanding, actually, that she said, get your little tail. It was coercion. I mean, it was just horrible. I saw that today and I was like, I got to share this because CPS can't be trusted. All these organizations, governments, it's done. Burn them down. We've got to start from scratch because this is ridiculous. Who's hiring these people? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And one article that I read actually said she was suspended. They said she was terminated here, but there was an article they said she was suspended. So I am not confident that she was actually let go, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, this just to say that this trafficking and this pimping and all the stuff that goes on with these young runaways and young vulnerable people is rife throughout everywhere, throughout all types of companies, organizations, systems. You don't know who to trust, where to turn. So that's why, like I said, on A Shot of Love, you got to be your own superhero. You got to go within yourself and tap in there first for guidance. So your discernment can be turned up so you can determine what's right and wrong and what's feeling good and what doesn't feel good. Because I'm telling you, when you're tuned in, you get signals, you know? So JC, there is such a lack of foster parents that some states are putting the kids in a hotel. Okay, that's horrible. Just wait till the birth rate spikes because the government now controls our uterus. Yes, where's my? Absolutely. Change because of the law reversal of Roe v. Wade. Sharita said she hopes the mom has her child back. Yeah, I hope she is back also. What I actually was relieved about was the fact that the girl spoke out, I guess, to her mom, and she recorded the lady. She actually took steps to, correct the situation to make sure this person was exposed. So I'm glad she did that. Yeah, Chi-Town, she should have went to jail. Hopefully if she didn't, will go, because what they need to do now is start, if they haven't already been investigating, starting with her, because she's linked to other people, I guarantee you, not only at that agency, but outside of that agency. And it's scary. It's crazy. This is the world we live in, child. I mean, it's just, things are different. The way things are done, the way things are playing out because of technology. But I'm sure this stuff probably been going on for a very long time. It seems so widespread, though. It's like everywhere you turn, you hear these stories, these things play out. What they are teachable lessons. So if you have a child or grandchild, young teenager, CPS is not the place to go for help. I would say. I mean, they say it takes a village, and that I saw that in my own bringing up my son. I had a nice little village. No village I don't think could be big enough, but mine was just right. And people, family, I was blessed in that way. Not everybody is, though. Not everybody is. So discernment is important. Third eye chakra, unblock that and make sure it's clean and balanced so you can see what's going on. All right, let's talk about R. Kelly. This is a sketch of him from last year's trial in New York. And I'm not sure if that was the last day of trial. There's a note. Let me see if I have that one at the bottom. Yeah. Why adults do this evil to children, I will never understand. Same here. At least the past renewal of the trafficking laws. Oh, they passed the renewal of the trafficking laws. Only Matt Gaetz voted against the law, and we know why. I think I've seen headlines about him. I don't really know. I don't deep dive into the politics like I used to. I just don't have the time. That's why I have Miss Della. Oh, Miss Della, I saw you. Did I say hi? Hey, Miss Della. Yeah, Miss Della. I have to tap into Miss Della. Like, what's going on, Miss Della? So I want to share and talk about this article. The Tribune tweeted this. Well, Jason Meisner he's a reporter for the Tribune in Chicago. He's on it. He does live tweets, and I'm hoping, because he did provide, they had a surrogate person helping them in the New York trial. But being that they're in Chicago, I'm hoping he's going to be the lead tweeter, because I know he's going to keep us posted pretty regularly. One second. Trafficking underage girls and prostitutes for his cocaine parties. Him and others involved. Oh, okay. Damn. Okay, let's see. Where's this article? Okay, right here. Sunday night, man. Hope everybody had a really good weekend. As I read this, I just want to talk about it as we read through it. There's a lot here. So it's titled R. Kelly's Federal Trial, to put spotlight on brawling 26 and Cal legal tactics. When Chicago-born R&B star R. Kelly, walked out of the Cook County Criminal Courthouse a free man in 2008, it wasn't just a stroke of luck. Okay, it wasn't just a stroke of luck. Let me sip my tea real quick, my real tea, actually, as I spill this tea. I spiked it a little bit just for the occasion. Huh. All right. Kelly's stunning acquittal on child pornography charges nearly a decade and a half ago was the result of a carefully crafted strategy by a team of veteran Chicago criminal defense attorneys who employed nearly every street fight tactic in the 26 and California legal playbook. I want to talk about that. Yeah, definitely truth. Sip on the tea. Yep. They're exposing the defense attorney team that handled R. Kelly's case back in 2008. Trifling. You know what I'm saying? Tactics, just shady tactics. Actually, let me see. What did they say? Carefully crafted strategy by a team of veteran Chicago criminal defense attorneys who employed nearly every street fight tactic in the 26 in California legal playbook. I feel like Bongine is coming from that playbook too. So here's what they did. They buried the court with paper, delayed the proceedings for years, dirtied up every witness you can. These are the playbook rules, I guess. Dirty up every witness you can. And when it comes to the prosecutor smoking gun, a videotape allegedly showing Kelly sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl, relentlessly questioned its authenticity. And we're doing that now. That's one of the motions that's being decided on. And keep the victim on your side. Check, 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 and check. 15 years later, Kelly is going on trial in Chicago, this time at the Rsk'S U.S. courthouse, where the I Believe I Can Fly singer stands accused of conspiring to rig the Cook County trial years ago by paying off the victim on the now infamous videotape. All right. Also facing trial are Kelly's former business manager, Daryl McDavid, and another associate, Milton June Brown, who, according to the indictment, schemed to buy back incriminating sex tapes that had been taken from Kelly's collection and hide years of alleged sexual abuse of underage girls. The trial, which gets underway with jury selection Monday, tomorrow, comes on the heels of Kelly's federal racketeering case in New York, which involved similar allegations of sexual misconduct and resulted in a guilty verdict and a 30-year sentence levied in June. Whew. With the 55-year-old Kelly already facing what could be the rest of his life behind bars, some observers argued whether it makes sense to spend so many public resources to try Kelly again. Kelly also faces 4 pending cases in Cook County, which have largely been on hold since the federal indictments were revealed. Sources said there were initial discussions of a plea deal earlier in the proceedings, but with Kelly appealing both his conviction and sentence in New York, they never really got off the ground. Initial discussions of a plea deal. Now the trial about to unfold in Chicago seems ripe for intrigue. For one, Kelly's new criminal defense attorney, Jennifer Bongine, is a veteran litigator who relishes taking on what she portrays as an unchecked and overzealous government, representing controversial clients such as Bill Cosby and Gangster Disciples boss Larry Hoover. Now, Larry Hoover has since denied the Gangster Disciples. Can we separate him from them at this point? What's going on, G. Washington? Welcome back. So yeah, we are digging into R. Kelly and all the shit he's been up to for the past 30 years. And as we face this trial starting tomorrow with jury selection in the Chicago, Illinois federal case, it will not be televised, Joel, because it is a federal case, a federal court. And therefore, that's the reason. But the court, the state court approved cameras, live cameras, but we don't know what's going on with the state. Just like they just said, it's been on hold. Okay, so she looking, every time I see her, she look older and older. Is that old Holly back there? Oh my goodness, child. These YouTubers, boy. And I'm gonna talk about these YouTubers too, because I heard some stuff and saw some stuff too. Actually, that's probably gonna be in the member channel, but I'll touch on it here. This article goes on though. McDavid, meanwhile, is represented by Chicago attorneys Bo Brindley and Vadim Glosman, who have shown in a flurry of pretrial motions that they intend to aggressively fight the charges, even if it means potentially throwing Kelly under the bus. Brown's lawyer, Mary Judge, is also well respected and a 25-year veteran of the Federal Public Defender's Office in Chicago. Okay, Mary Judge. So Milton's attorney, Mary Judge, who, sometimes I would slip in there, she's a public defender, but she's no slouch. Okay. She is well respected, 25-year veteran of the Federal Public Defender's Office in Chicago. She in Chicago. And if she's been there all 25 years, she knows those courts like the back of her hand. She should at least. Let me come over and check you guys. What the hell? Okay. These names, y'all. R. Kelly's a dog head. Okay. All right. Let's go on. At the center of the trial is U.S. District Judge Harry Lieneweber, who at 85, y'all, he's 85 years old. We got to hurry this trial on. At 85 is one of the senior statesmen of Chicago's federal bench, with a well-worn reputation for fairness and acute knowledge of the law and a fairly low tolerance for nonsense. Well, he in for a great deal of it, I believe. 3 defendants. They're playing nice right now, y'all, but I'm going to tell you something. I believe that tune is going to change. I really do. Let's see. At a pretrial conference earlier this month, Lieneweber signaled he intends to run a tight ship, in part because the large ceremonial courtroom where the trial is being held is in high demand due to COVID-19 protocols still in place in the building. He says he wants to keep time-consuming sidebars to a minimum, and if a lawyer from either side tests positive for COVID-19, their colleagues will have to pick up the slack. He did say, I was listening to that hearing, that we are not waiting for any lawyer who may get sick. Okay? So in quotes, we're going to get it done in 4 weeks, come hell or high water, Lieneweber said. I have a reputation of moving a case along. He does. And I've heard he also has a reputation for life sentences. They say he's a hard neck. I think that's what they call him. But yeah, let's go on. Saying it's not an easy legal climb. Winning an acquittal is always an uphill battle in Chicago's federal court, where the U.S. Attorney's Office has a nearly perfect record when it comes to celebrities, politicians, or other high-profile defendants. Y'all hear that? Chicago's federal U.S. Attorney's Office has a nearly perfect record when it comes to celebrities, politicians, or other high-profile defendants. But Kelly's path to victory could be even more unlikely, given the evidence for the child pornography charges is significantly stronger than it was when Kelly was first indicted in Cook County in 2002. Much stronger evidence. Prosecutors are expected to present to jurors 4 videotapes depicting Kelly having sex with a minor, not just one. But potentially far more damaging to Kelly is that the depicted on the tapes, who refused to testify in 2008, is now cooperating with law enforcement, as is her mother. Yeah. The victim, now in her mid-30s, is expected to identify herself on the videos, and both she and her mother are expected to testify about efforts by Kelly and his team to keep them quiet, including flying the family to the Bahamas and Mexico and giving her father, who was a bassist in Kelly's band, checks for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they do have check stubs as a part of their discovery. I really need to get my hands on that transcript for her testimony and the mothers. Yeah, we need to put that out into the universe. My transcript fairy godfather, I hope you're listening. Okay. And I'm going to talk about the transcript situation because I was peeking over at old Sylvia's channel. And I tell you, it just doesn't end. The shenanigans just don't end, I tell you. All right, moving on. Stephen Greenberg, who was Kelly's chief attorney until a rift in the defense team prompted him to leave the federal cases in 2021, told the Tribune in an interview last week that Kelly enjoyed, in quotes, the super presumption of innocence, end quote, in his trial in 2008, when he was still a famous musician with a string of recent hits. So yeah, sounds like basically Steve is like he's still relishing in his old glory, but it's a new day. Okay. I wonder if that's Kroll. Is that Kroll or is she from New York? I don't remember. Okay. But the public's view of Kelly has changed significantly since then, starting with the Me Too era, docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, and ending with his high-profile trial in New York, which featured testimony from nearly a dozen victims of his alleged sexual and psychological abuse. In quotes, jurors are human, and while they say they can decide the case based on the evidence in the courtroom, anyone that claims they haven't heard anything about R. Kelly is probably lying, Greenberg said. And anyone who says they don't have some opinion about R. Kelly is probably lying. Bonjean posted to Twitter Friday that it would be difficult to find 12 people who will can be fair given the media war on my client. And I posted that on my community wall. And with that said, she is pissing in the jury pool by saying this. Okay, she's actually motivating people to want to get on the jury to save his ass. And that's my problem with the most recent filing, which I haven't even brought up yet, but I'm going to read the filing in the motion in the member channel probably after this live. It's only 7 pages. But basically what they're trying to do now is prevent any juror from participating, potential juror from being chosen who has watched any parts of Surviving R. Kelly. Okay, any parts. And so people on Twitter, when she posted that, were responding like, oh, so I guess no black people will be on the jury. But it's not even just, it's no black people. I mean, not to say, because all black people didn't watch. And guess which ones didn't? His fans, especially his super fans who didn't want any parts of Surviving R. Kelly. People to this day say they have never watched it, but they ride for him like there's no tomorrow. Okay. So if a fan happens to slip through the cracks and get into that jury pool, that's not going to be good. Okay. That's all I'm saying. So, all right. Let's see. Juti, welcome. Hey, Tabitha, welcome back. Juti, how liberating it should be for the victim to finally lay it all out. Yeah, agreed. Definitely. With Greenberg as such a camera whore, he is. Fair to who? Kelly or the victims that were just kids? Right. Yeah, her mom. And unfortunately, her dad has transitioned. He passed away, but he was also set to testify. So, you know, it's not like that the death was a reason for them to testify, because they were all going to testify. Okay, so let's go on. In quotes, the government starts with an incredible advantage, but we are going to fight like hell to get a jury that will follow the law, she wrote. So yeah, with her motion and the whole, you know, we don't want anybody who watched any parts of Surviving R. Kelly. is her way, and there are going to be more motions because I think last I checked today, the jury questionnaire wasn't posted or hadn't been filed. So, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing. They're working on that for Monday, for tomorrow. But oh damn, I lost my point. What was I gonna say? Let me come back over to the comments. That happens sometimes. Talking, thinking. Yulita, I don't know if I said hi to you already. So, the jury pool, she's pissing in the jury pool. And yeah, we don't want any fans to slip into the jury pool. She's gonna fight like hell to get a jury that will follow the law. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Basically, so with these jury, with the jury questionnaire and everybody putting their spin on it, they want to have their own specific questions and things. Is them trying to shape the jury at the end of the day. They want a jury that they feel like they're responsible for, you know. So, but with 3 defense teams working, they're aligned as far as we can see, but I think that this thing is going to be a shit show, to be very honest, between the defendants, not even just everything else that's going to be going on. All right, let's see. Yeah, here we go. It says Greenberg said the trial will likely pit the 3 defendants against each other, with McDavid trying to pin any wrongdoing on Kelly and his lawyers at the time, who orchestrated it, in quotes. And Kelly is going to say, if anything, it was McDavid and the lawyers, Greenberg said. Yep, 100%. When Kelly's first criminal trial was unfolding in 2008, rumors abounded about the location of the alleged victim on the videotape, who was actually a potential witness for the defense. Behind the scenes, it was known that the girl had been living at Kelly's South suburban mansion. She'd even been taken shopping for something to wear on the stand by the wife of an attorney on Kelly's legal team, but she was never called to testify. I wonder how it would feel to be the wife of the attorney taking this, because at the time of the trial, I think she was older at that point. Remember, it took 6 years for the trial to actually take place. But just to know that this girl is the center of a child porn case with this star, and you're taking her shopping. Anyway, Dick Devine, who headed the Cook County State Attorney's office back then, told the Tribune his team strongly suspected at the time that the young victim and her family were being, quote, taken care of, end quote, to keep them from cooperating, but they could not prove it. I really want to know, how hard did they try to uncover the truth? How? Because as far as we could tell, they just really slept during the trial, meaning the prosecutors. Hey, Lasting Impressions. Good evening. So yeah, we're reading this article that the Tribune posted, I think yesterday, on Twitter. And they're really exposing the dirty shenanigans that went on during 2008 and what's probably going to, transpire again, or try to, at least this time around. Yulita said, I've heard the same thing about this judge. They say he's no nonsense. Yeah. Okay. Who said Joy? Oh, I'm looking at, I don't know where that came from. We're talking about RL. They're talking about RL here. Okay, so they said we did try to figure out. Now, mind you, this is Cook County State Attorney's Office, who was the prosecution. He was the guy who led the prosecution team against R. Kelly in 2008, the trial he was acquitted from. Okay, so it says we did try to figure out what was going on and see if there were any links we could establish, he said in an interview last week. But as you can imagine, the people involved did not want to cooperate at all, and did not. So we reached dead ends in many of the things we were pursuing. The prosecution team was very frustrated that the central witness and her parents were not in place, Devine said. But he said they did their best. They tried a good case, but it simply wasn't enough in light of the gaps that were there, at least according to the jury. Man, that jury had racist people on there. They said they didn't believe him. And really, one of them said because they were young black girls. Divine said they brought the case knowing it would be tough to win. And at one point rejected an offer from Kelly's camp to have him plead guilty and get a slap on the wrist. So his team approached the prosecution and said that he would plead guilty for a slap on the wrist. And I'm wondering what the slap on the wrist will be. That's interesting. So if he was willing to do that then, did he do that again this time around? That's the question. Wait, I'm confused, JC. You're asking if she's a witness for both sides? Are you talking about RL? Because I'm going to say no to that. Queen said, I want to hear what exactly RL's dad had to say to the grand jury. You know, I have the transcript. I think, I'm sure it's still available for the grand jury hearing in Illinois. And I remember some of that stuff I think might have been redacted, but I definitely will go back and look. RL, you said, no, I'm saying we're talking about RL. I'm saying that the Cook County prosecutor from at the 2008 trial is referring to RL and her family in talking about, you know, that the fact that she wasn't available for the trial and all of that stuff. Sorry for the confusion. I'm reading an article and talking at the same time in between. So I'm probably definitely confusing y'all. So let me just read this then. Yeah, so my last thing that I said was that this guy said that R. Kelly's camp, his defense team came and said that he would plead guilty. So what do you fans think about that? Your king pleading guilty. He's offered to plead guilty. It like similar to what Bill Cosby agreed to, and the reason he was his sentence was vacated because he made a deal that if he confessed that he wouldn't do jail time. And Bonjean got him off on that technicality. Even though that I don't think that DA was even still working there at the time of this trial, but it still held weight. And that's the thing. Those backdoor deals, you know, don't really serve the victims, in my opinion. Okay, so let's see. The trial, he said, was kind of a slugfest day to day, with the throngs of R. Kelly fans outside the courthouse, the aggressive moves from his defense team, and the strong suspicions of witness tampering. Strong suspicions. They knew exactly what was going on. It's part of our legal history, and I don't think it's the best part, but one we're living with, Divine said. Yeah, no thanks to you. Sorry ass. Okay. Details of the case. The federal charges Kelly is now facing fall into two overlapping categories. Some allege he repeatedly molested underage girls and would make videotapes of their sex acts. The obstruction charges allege that when he got wind that authorities were investigating, he bought back incriminating tapes and paid off witnesses so they wouldn't cooperate with law enforcement. According to a recent prosecution filing, the evidence will span a 23-year period from 1991 to 2014, when Kelly rose to the height of his fame before becoming the butt of late-night comics jokes. Jurors are expected to hear evidence about 4 videos made by Kelly during that time depicting him sexually abusing an underage girl, his goddaughter, from the original tape, who is identified in the charges only as minor 1. Other witnesses are also expected to testify that Kelly had sexual contact with them when they were underage, and that he often taped those encounters as well. Some of the evidence the jury is expected to hear is well-documented territory in Kelly's history of sexual conduct. The tripods and camcorders at his recording studios, tour buses, and hotel rooms. The gym bag of VHS tapes containing child pornography he allegedly carried around. The threats of civil suits followed by non-disclosure agreements. Yeah. Let me go on. Prosecutors allege that beginning in 2001, Kelly and his entourage became aware of multiple videos missing from Kelly's collection, in quotes, and that he and McDavid orchestrated a scheme of payoffs to get them back and keep others quiet about Kelly's relationship with minor one. In addition to minor one, 2 other women were underage at the time of the alleged conspiracy are expected to testify that Kelly struck up a sexual relationship with minor one when she was as young as 13 and videoed himself assaulting her in his home, at his studios, on tour buses, and in hotel rooms. In one video that jurors are expected to see, Kelly is having sex with minor one at his home on George Street in Chicago while she is wearing a, quote, distinctive, end quote, necklace. At the same necklace she is wearing in a passport photo taken about the same time, according to prosecutors. In the early 2000s, Chicago police attempted to locate minor one for questioning, but Kelly's team had her flown to the Bahamas and Mexico for weeks to get away from law enforcement, according to prosecutors. When they returned to Chicago, Kelly's team isolated minor one from her family, monitoring her phone calls and moving her around to different hotels, according to prosecutors. That lasted until her parents agreed to deny that it was minor one on the videotape, prosecutors said. Another woman, identified as minor 5, is expected to testify that Kelly began having sexual contact with her when she was 14 or 15. She would often tape their sex acts as well as sex acts involving her and other underage girls, according to prosecutors. When police began to investigate the videotape in late 2001, minor 5 initially identified minor 1 as the girl on the footage. But later on, Kelly persuaded her to lie to the grand jury and say she did not know of any sexual relationship between Kelly and minor 1, according to prosecutors. After her first sexual contact with Kelly, minor 5 is expected to testify that he told her, quote, we all have secrets now, end quote. Okay, let me pause real quick. Come over here. Let's see. Tomorrow, I'm going to have several sources tomorrow, including these reporters, because I actually connected with them the last trial, and I plan to reconnect with them during this trial too. But I'm not in Chicago. I don't plan on going to Chicago. Some of these YouTubers are. I know Sylvia's going. I'm pretty sure Hollywood's going to be there. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure, there's going to be quite a few of them. One of them actually, who I know is going to be there. I'm not going to say who it is because I'm actually going to talk about her somewhat, a little bit about some stuff she's posting on her pages. I've seen her post victims' pictures, including RL. There's a picture of another young lady who they are saying is RL's cousin. They're saying that RL and her cousin have very similar names. One has a D in it and one doesn't. But they're saying that this young lady was also abused by Rsk or Sylvester. And she's also testifying. And somebody put in the comments, and I don't know if this person knows because, people do that a lot. But she said that the cousin is actually younger than RL. So we'll talk more about that when I go on the member channel. Goddess Peace has some things to say. You're welcome, JC. Let's see. I want to see where the transcripts. I mean, they're selling the transcripts $1.20 a page. And Sylvia says she already paid $3,000 up front for the first, however much I guess that covers for her, whether it be a day, whether it be a couple days, because the trial hasn't happened yet. So they don't know how many pages this is going to be because they don't know how, the transcription is a live typed update, so I'm definitely going to be all over the place. And I have people who are probably going to be sending me stuff. I have some very wonderful carrier pigeons, I call them, but they send me all kinds of stuff. And feel free to send me some too. I probably will come on earlier in the day tomorrow instead of a nighttime. I'm not sure, depending on how my day is set up. Whatever happens, this trial will go down in history for sure. They will talk about it for years to come, just like OJ. Yeah. Court TV. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, Court TV, I don't know. Court TV wasn't as reliable for me last time. There's some reporters though on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, I would get on Twitter just for this, because there's reporters on there who do real-time tweeting as they're sitting in the courtroom. Now, some of these YouTubers are going to be there and they're going to be doing live updates and things too. But from what I can tell, they're supporters. I haven't seen anybody who's not a supporter who's said they're going there, but they put their own spin on things, and they kind of, go heavy on defense reporting versus prosecution, or because they don't like what's going on, they spin the narrative. You know what I'm saying? So those for me are not reliable sources. Cosby didn't get a deal that if he confessed that he wouldn't be used, but he was told by a judge if he testified in a different case, it wouldn't be used in his other case. They used the info. Okay, well, I read something different, so my bad if that was wrong. But yeah, I read that he did a deposition. He admitted guilt under the agreement that he wouldn't do any jail time in that particular, whatever that case was. And they tried him again on a different case and tried to go around that, but it didn't work. So, but thank you, JC, the Almanac. Some don't know that he has another trial because 30 years is already a lot. They're thinking that she already testified in New York. She did not testify in New York. And over 20 years to get her justice. I wish you were there to get the information to us. Right? I wish I could be there too, but child, I'd have to wear the mask, the screen mask, like oh boy was used to wear. I think another supporter will have transcripts, so will be day-to-day draining and 6 weeks. To be very honest, I don't know that I would like some testimony of the transcripts for some of the testimony, but I don't really need the transcripts right up front day to day like that. I think that the reporting we're going to be getting will suffice, but to at some point get them, yeah, that would be good. I wouldn't want to be there either. Just like to see justice. Yeah. She's a grifter. We like your professional point of view. Now, Sylvia, thank you. Yeah, she's very heavily biased. So she's not somebody we could trust at all. Hey, Marcus X. What's going on, King? Happy Sunday. Law and Crime, also a good place to get updates on trial. Law and Crime. Okay. Is that on YouTube? I think I'm following that. It was actually a deposition. That's what I said, a deposition. That's what I said. It was a deposition. But thank you. Yes. Deposition. A lawsuit from one of the women he assaulted. Okay. We on the right side of the law. Need someone there. The Beehive will be all over it. Yeah, they sure will. They're going to be all over it, but they're going to be all over it the way it's not going to be, fair. That's the thing. Got to be honest when you're reporting. That's what's the difference between a journalist and a blogger. Okay, so now here the article continues. Trial drama is expected. However, the evidence shakes out. Kelly's trial is the most high-profile event at the typically buttoned-down Rsk'S U.S. courthouse in the 2.5 years since the onset of the pandemic. Kelly's diehard followers, some who live tweet events in his case and post social media videos that garner millions of views, are expected to show up in droves to support him, just like they did at his first Cook County trial and his Brooklyn trial. And this may even be worse. Now, look, we have Chalk Girl making her debut here in the Tribune, too. It says, and the scenes could just be as theatrical inside the courtroom. Recent weeks have seen a flood of pretrial motions, each seemingly more bombastic than the last. There it is. Prosecutors want to bar Kelly's defense from presenting expert testimony that Kelly has an IQ of about 79, saying his alleged intellectual deficiencies are irrelevant to whether he videotaped himself molesting underage girls, for sure. Kelly's defense wants to prohibit prosecutors from calling an expert witness to testify about child abuse and grooming. And I believe we're still waiting on the ruling on that. Yeah, they're trying to everything that can really nail him to the wall is they're trying to get it removed. Most dramatically, perhaps, McDavid's legal team has argued in a series of strongly worded motions that prosecutors botched the chain of custody for the key videotape involving minor one and accused the former lead prosecutor on the case, Angel Kroll, lead prosecutor on the case, Angel Kroll, of having inappropriate contact with the alleged victim, as well as Jim DeRogatis, the Chicago journalist whose reporting decades ago was the first to bring the accusations against Kelly to light. Kroll, it has been revealed, communicated with DeRogatis using a burner email account under the alias Demetrius Slavinsky and the username Pied Piper 312, a reference to one of Kelly's own nicknames for himself. In text messages in 2019, Kroll had minor one stored in her contacts under the name Boss Baby, at one point telling the woman that a pregnancy photo of her is beautiful and glowing. As of Friday evening, Lena Weaver had made no rulings on the pending request. And as of right now on Sunday, let me check actually real quick to see, because you never know. There were no updates. Actually, the update was the motion on wanting no jurors who've seen any parts of Surviving R. Kelly to participate, or no potential jurors, excuse me. Ooh. Let's see. Yeah, nothing but that motion. All right, so I don't trust the pre-hire. They'll be saying he's coming home. Well, he got 30 years in New York, so someone will be getting arrested. Yeah. So sad that there is no one on YouTube that will go and stand up for the victims. I mean, maybe there will be. I don't know. I mean, we don't, there's some YouTubers I'm just finding actually who cover this stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't see who would want to do that and be subjected to probably getting ganged up on. And Sylvia better be careful too, because I don't know if y'all remember, but the last trial they went up on her and made her almost, they said peed herself or almost did, ganging up on that lady. Yeah, let them act a fool. They can't help themselves. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to share that article because some things, like I didn't know he had offered to plead guilty in the 2008 case. And that says a lot, especially to people who want to run around even to this day and say that they just didn't find him guilty because he's not, and because the tape was fake, and because, they have all these reasons, but that's not it. That wasn't it at all. It was just that the girl wasn't there, and the parents and her denied it was her. But now things have changed. The tables have turned, and man, it's a lot. I think. Yeah, well, I don't listen to that channel, so and I don't know that person does live reports. But anyway, you never know. We might find a gem out there, somebody who's on the ground who actually has some fair reporting, and maybe we can, because I definitely, if I find somebody, I'll let y'all know. And please send me anything you find. We got to do this together, okay? This is a team effort. Teamwork makes the dream work. But listen, I'm going to go on the member channel. I'm going to read that motion. I'm going to talk to y'all about some stuff that I saw on some other channels that I don't want to talk about here, because I don't really want to talk about victims publicly like that, honestly. But yeah, I saw some stuff that I didn't know before. I don't know if it's true or not, but maybe y'all do. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. I will see you soon. Take care and catch a shot of love if you missed it today. Be your own superhero, baby. Till next time. Bye. Till tomorrow, actually.